You need to hear something that's going to piss you off, but in a good way. You think your feelings just happen to you, right? Someone cuts you off on the 405 and boom, your whole day is ruined. Your boss sends a passive-aggressive Slack message and suddenly you're fuming for 3 hours. A friend cancels plans and you feel like garbage. We've been sold a lie, a massive, invisible lie. The truth? No one on this entire planet can make you feel anything. Not your mother, not your ex, not that reckless driver. Nobody. Unless you hand them the keys. And right now, you are handing out copies of those keys like free candy on the 4th of July. Here's what's actually happening inside your skull. There's a book summary you need to steal from. It breaks down the work of guys like Ibrahim El-Feki, Thibaut Maurice, and ancient Roman philosophers like Marcus Aurelius, and they all point to one explosive idea. Between any event and your reaction, there is a gap, a space, and in that space is your entire freedom. But you've been trained to ignore that gap. Let me give you the first bomb. It's called the 90-second rule. When something irritating happens, your body dumps chemicals, adrenaline, cortisol. That chemical rush lasts exactly 90 seconds. That's it, a minute and a half. After that, any anger, any frustration, any meltdown you're having, that's you choosing it. You are literally replaying the argument in your head. You are the director, the writer, and the lead actor in your own misery movie, and you keep pressing replay. Stop it. That's the first habit to break, realizing that your reaction is your choice, not your childhood, not your horoscope, not your personality type, your choice. Let me tell you about a guy named Mike, 34 years old, senior analyst at a tech firm in Austin. Good job, nice apartment, solid future. One morning, his manager publicly humiliates him in a team meeting, calls his report lazy work in front of 20 people. Mike's face turns red, his hands shake. He spends the next 3 days replaying that moment. Can't sleep, snaps at his girlfriend, drinks more than usual. He even starts updating his resume, ready to quit. Then, 2 weeks later, he finds out the truth. His manager wasn't attacking him. His manager had just found out his wife had cancer that same morning. He wasn't criticizing Mike's work, he was drowning in his own pain. He didn't even remember what he said. 3 days of suffering for something that was never about him. Mike was drinking poison, and he was the only one getting hurt. That's what you're doing right now. Every time you assume the worst, every time you take something personally that was never about you. It gets worse. Now, let's talk about the second thing Americans get wrong. We love expectations. We expect people to be fair, to be logical, to treat us exactly how we treat them. And then we get crushed when they don't. You need to hear this harsh truth. People are not you. They don't have your values, your timeline, or your conscience. That coworker who took credit for your idea, he's not evil. He's just playing his own game. That friend who never checks on you, she's not a traitor. She's just living in her own chaos. When you expect people to act like you are setting yourself on fire and asking them to feel the heat. It's insane. Let it go right now. Say it. They are acting from their nature, not mine. And watch how quickly your blood pressure drops. Here's where most guys and girls in America get stuck. The ego, the need to be right. We love winning arguments more than we love peace. We will destroy a relationship, ruin a dinner, or burn a bridge just to prove a point. Next time you feel that surge, that need to correct someone, to prove they're wrong, stop and ask yourself one question. Do I want to be right, or do I want to be free? You can't have both. Marcus Aurelius, the most powerful man on earth at his time, said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events."
Realize this, and you will find strength. He didn't say win every debate. He said control your mind. That's the American dream of the soul, true freedom. But freedom requires something scary. It requires boundaries. Let me be blunt. If you don't have boundaries, you are not kind. You are a doormat with a heartbeat. Saying yes to everyone is actually saying no to yourself. You can't pour from an empty cup. That's not a cliché. That's physiology. You need to learn the power of no. Not rude, not aggressive, just clear. I can't do that right now. I don't have the energy for this. That doesn't work for me. When you set a boundary, you are not being mean. You are being honest. And honesty is the highest form of respect. Now let's deal with the invisible killer, what other people think about you. Oh, you don't care? Really? Then why did you check your phone 5 times after posting that story? Why did you replay that random comment from 3 weeks ago? We are addicted to approval. It's a dopamine hit. But here's the secret weapon, the Sedona Method. It's 5 steps and it takes 90 seconds. 1. Focus on the feeling. 2. Name it. This is shame. This is fear. 3. Acknowledge it. 4. Ask yourself, could I let this go right now? 5. Let it float away. That's it. You don't fight the feeling. You just release it like a balloon. And when you do that, criticism stops being a knife. It becomes data, just information. Some of it is useful. Most of it is just noise from people who don't know your full story. And the noise, it doesn't deserve a front row seat in your brain. Let me tell you about the most powerful weapon you're not using: silence. When someone attacks you, when they try to drag you into their chaos, the strongest move is not a clever comeback, it's silence. A calm, steady silence. That silence says, I don't need to prove anything to you. Your anger is your problem, not mine. It's not weakness, it's the confidence of a person who knows their own worth. And nothing, absolutely nothing, makes an aggressive person more confused than a calm smile and a closed mouth. Try it tomorrow. Someone gets loud, just look at them. Breathe, say nothing. You'll feel power you didn't know you had. We also need to talk about gratitude. I know, it sounds soft, but don't roll your eyes yet. I'm not talking about writing in a journal with flowers on the cover. I'm talking about reverse gratitude. When you lose a project, when someone betrays you, when life hits hard, don't focus on what's missing. Imagine losing what you still have. Imagine losing your health, your home, your ability to walk, just for a moment. That shock, that chill, that's the most powerful reset button in the human brain. You can't be angry and grateful at the same time. Pick one. And finally, the master skill, the one that separates the average from the unstoppable: letting go. You are holding on to old wounds like they're trophies. That boss who fired you 3 years ago, that friend who ghosted you, that mistake you made in college. Holding on to anger is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. It doesn't hurt them. It only destroys you. You don't have to forgive. You don't have to forget. You just have to release. Because every time you replay that old story, you are giving up your present moment. And the present moment is the only place where success, joy, and real power actually live. So here's your challenge. Starting today, you will not be a puppet. You will not let a rude driver, a lazy coworker, or a bitter ex control your inner state. You will take that 90-second gap. You will breathe, and you will choose. You will choose calm over chaos. You will choose freedom over being right. You will choose your peace over their drama. Because you are not a victim of your emotions. You are the master of them. And masters don't react, they decide. Now go be the deep ocean. Let the storms rage on the surface. You're down where it's still, where it's quiet, where it's free. That's who you really are. It's time to come home.